Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Today is day 2 of Sarah Boone in court. Again, the Florida versus Sarah Boone second degree unalive trial. So Sarah was in court today. As you can see, ma'am was feeling pretty good about herself. And it was kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed kind of a little bit of her demeanor during this whole thing, but it was giving a little snark. I don't know. It was very different from the scene we saw yesterday, which I'm sure it's the same thing when they took her out of court. However, this is very much like I'm sitting at the table. I have a seat at the table. I'm with my lawyers. I have my very serious business suit. Maybe she wears her hair parted to the side typically, but I'm gonna say I don't know anything about that. But they got her some flats basically. She was taking off her jail flip-flops. Um, y'all, it's a mess. I'm just going to say it's a mess. Anyway, Sarah is getting her day in court like she's wanted. She has a attorney, and like I said, I think she's feeling pretty damn good about herself and what she's got going on. And maybe she's feeling optimistic about her case. And look, for the amount of money that Florida is spending on this, I would hope so. So I'm just kind of going through the Sarah Boone timeline on X because that's pretty much, if you want to keep up with what's going on, that's kind of where you're going to find it at the moment. So there were quite a few people who are live tweeting in the courthouse because, of course, as we know, the very important process of selecting a jury is at hand for the past 2 days. They need to come to a jury of 6. And based on that, with potentially maybe 6 to 8 alternates or 6 alternates, they will have a jury to Judge Kranick's satisfaction. They have whittled it to a pool. They had 50 first session yesterday, 50 again in the afternoon. I think they had 50 this morning. I'm following a couple of people, like I said, who are live tweeting. So let's go to some of that and see what was said regarding the process. So here you've got, let's just click on this one more time. Like, here she is. I think she's definitely feeling herself. I feel like her body language is giving, like, I like my outfit. And I'm sure after being in jail for so long and not having any access to anything but scrubs and slippers, probably feels pretty good. I see this lawyer behind her. I don't know if she's amused. Maybe, I don't know. It's giving a little amused. It's giving a little bit like, okay, poor Sarah, or isn't this funny? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what James said, but James was giving her kind of like um a fist bump. There's Mr. J back there, Mr. J, and I don't know if that's Mr. Cacciatore. But this is obviously Jim Owens here talking to Sarah, Mr. Henderson. I'm assuming this is another one of the attorneys on the team, the lady with the blonde hair. So let's see what else is going on here in the timeline. So Stephanie Buffamonte, I think, is from Fox Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's from Fox Orlando. So she says, so 10 jurors have already been released for not understanding English. So I guess they had some non-English speakers, which is not going to work because that's going to be just too disruptive to be able to have an interpreter there. And so unfortunately this particular situation just won't work. So yes, I think there were people who it recognized her. Another jury panel was just brought up this afternoon. So far, 43 out of 150. I mean, that's not bad. 43 out of 150. So you're looking at a little bit under a third. So maybe about 40%, 30%. That's a rough guesstimate of about 40%. I would say, excuse me, 30 percent. And look, I guess 45 would be roughly at 30. So I mean, look, hey, this is a whittling down process. You're not going to have 150 people. Like, they don't need 150 people. They really only need 6. So and then they need the alternates. 150 people have been selected. Let me see. Are you guys seeing this? Okay, good. Okay. Let's see. Of the 50-person panel for today, jury selection, no one had heard of Sarah Boone before, and only one person said they saw the suitcase video on their local news last week, but couldn't remember the details of the case. Okay, I think that's fair. I think the fact that Sarah might think that everybody seems to know who she is and is well versed on the case is ridiculous. Everybody is not familiar with this case. Everybody doesn't know who she is. And, and let's just be real, everybody doesn't necessarily care. You know what I mean? From that standpoint. And also, everyone is not a true crimer, all of those things, right? So, let's see. So, let's see what the latest. Okay, so people are giving their commentary on X, of course. This is this full video? Wait a second. Oh, I wonder what this is. Is this? Oh, this is some of Sarah's shenanigans. All you have to do a hashtag Sarah Boone, and you'll see a lot of different content from many different creators revolving this topic. Let's see. Anyway, so this is the deal. Let's get back to what's going on. So tomorrow there's going to be a hearing. Let me get back over here because this is kind of okay. So tomorrow there's going to be a hearing. There are a couple of different motions that have been posted to the docket, and they are going to go there. So there's a motion in limine regarding Sarah and the medical records of George Torres. They just entered into the discovery, a 500-page medical history regarding George. I think it's from like 2017, 2018, that they want to use some of this information regarding George and his medical past. I think basically the state attorney is saying that until the self-defense is entered in and until there is a reason for domestic violence or battered woman defense, they really, or also that there was a self-defense situation. Until that is until Sarah gets into that particular part of the argument, they're not really entertaining anything regarding that self-defense because, as we all know, in most of the versions of Sarah's story, it has all been, it was an accident. We were playing, we were having a wonderful evening. I don't know what happened. All of these different variations of it wasn't my fault and we were having a good time and I'm not really sure what happened. And, yes, this was a very toxic couple. Yes, this couple had a lot going on between the two of them. However, at the end of the day, we know that she is working on trying to find some sort of a defense that she feels like makes it make sense and that gives her I'm gonna just say a pass, for lack of, for lack of a better phrase. I think she's looking for an opportunity to make it, of course, not her fault. And at the end of the day, I think she knows that, you know, I look, I think most public opinion out here is that she was a fool to not take the plea deal, and she was offered 15 years last week. She's already been in jail for 4.5 years, and she basically turned it down. So now she's fighting for her life. The minimum sentence would be 22 and a half years. And if this defense is not successful, then Sarah is facing a considerable amount of time in jail, and more than she would have had she not taken the plea deal. So I think they're trying anything. Like I said, there's no doubt that this was a couple that was, had a very toxic, tumultuous relationship. However, at the end of the day, um, it doesn't necessarily, basically the story that she told doesn't necessarily go with this defense that they're now trying to use, because we've seen the interrogations, we've seen every single interview, we've read all of the interactions, all of the motions. She has really maintained that they were having a fun evening of painting and puzzles, and he got in the suitcase. She says on his own free will, she doesn't admit to any kind of battery at all of George. But now the defense is that she's wanting to use this battered spouse defense, and I don't know if that's going to fly for her. I really don't know. I think most people think it's not. So you tell me what you think down below. What to expect tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, there's going to be a hearing. There are a couple of motions that need to be heard. And after that, they're going to resume the jury selection. I think that it's quite possible opening statements will be on Thursday, maybe not in the morning, potentially in the afternoon. We could get into um, the prosecution presenting their case, which is pretty exciting because a lot of us who have been following this story for a long time, again, this has been over 4 years. It's going to be pretty exciting. Anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you think down below. Sarah is, I think she seems happy, and I don't know, I would be nervous. And this is not a time to be playing around. This is a very serious moment. I think she is definitely, I don't know. I'm judging, but I just don't feel like she's as serious as she should be. And I feel like she thinks she is the smartest person in the room, and or with the smartest people in the room, and just as smart as, I just don't know if this is going to be effective for her, because of all of her statements, all of her testimony, even the testimony from, was it last week? The week before last, excuse me, before the hurricane, she um, came and she testified in the motion to suppress after Kelsey Kopsel, and she said more things that are damaging to her case. And the state did file a motion of discovery to include that particular testimony in their discovery. So they're going to chop up that transcript. They're going to talk about her testimony. They're going to probably talk about the numerous iterations of her story, how it has changed, how it has evolved, how she, what is the story now? What's the newest story? Are we going to get version number 5? Are we going to get a different version of 4? What what's going on here? So we're gonna see at the end of the day, Sarah did get what she wanted. She has an attorney. She's getting to put the defense that she wants. I just don't know if the defense that she wants is going to be helpful to her because there aren't going to be a lot of people who are going to be overly sympathetic to what she's been through. I think there is a certain degree of how toxic her relationship was with George that many people might be able to either relate to or will resonate with, but the mutually toxic aspect and um, even the testimony that will probably come from her ex-husband, it's just not going to be good. The fact that she put mothering on a back burner for George, even though the neighbors said when she was with her kid, she seemed to be more of a, she was more in mom mode. They saw her drunk less. Maybe she wasn't drunk at all when her kid was around. But when it was her and George, it was on and popping. They were drunk a lot. They argued a lot. They tussled a lot. They fussed a lot. Police were coming to the apartment a lot. The next door neighbor said they stopped calling to complain about Sarah and George because they just felt like nothing was going to come of it. That it was just they complained so much and nothing was going to happen. So they just kind of left it alone. That seems to be some of the sentiment regarding Sarah and George as neighbors and the people who resided next to them. So I don't know. We're going to see how this pans out. We're going to see all the people that we've seen in all of these reports. They're going to come to testify, and we're going to just have to take it from there and let due process occur, right? So hopefully tomorrow, I will see you guys at 9 o'clock for the hearing. We'll stream it live, and then they're going to go back into jury selection, and we're probably going to really see full on opening statements on Thursday at some point, whether it be Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon. So again, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think this is going to go. And also, what do you think about her defense? Is it too little, too late? Is it just kind of like, Sarah, enough already? What do you think? So anyway, guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys next time. And that's it. That's all. Hopefully you'll have a good evening, and I will see you guys in the morning. Bye guys. Take care. Have a good evening.